Good morning, students. Hope so you all are safe and studying well. The students, today we'll revise our chapter, the Harappan Civilization. Okay, the Harappan Civilization, as by its name suggests, we are talking about, the chapter which we have read in class 6th. So we all know why this name Harappan Civilization was there, just because Harappa was the first site to be discovered. Okay, and it is also known as Indus Valley Civilization because it is all the sites basically. Initially, it was founded near Indus River. Okay, so Indus Valley Civilization. Now, in this, students, it is saying that the Indus Valley Civilization is also called the Harappan culture. Why so? Because a culture, the term culture for a group of objects distinctive in style that are usually found together with a specific geographical area and a period of time. As we have already studied that Harappan civilization, they are consisting of three phases: the earlier Harappan phase, the mature Harappan phase, and the later Harappan phase. In the early Harappan phase, what do we find? The settlements are not so urbanized. Okay, and in mature Harappan sites, there are urbanization are there. Okay, urbanization means big buildings are found, proper ceilings. Economy was developed during that time. Greenery was there, proper town planning was there, drainage system was in a proper way. Okay, so it all these comes under the a mature Harappan phase. But in later Harappan phase, what we found that the sites, actually the cities are not so developed. Um, now, as we have already studied that we do not exactly know how this civilization came to an end. It might be they have been migrated somewhere else, or invaders have came, or some all the things which we have discussed we'll discuss later also. Okay, so about Harappan civilization, the three phases we have done. Then, if we talk about the graph, or the geographical extent, so it is situated near Indus River and Gagar Hakra River, and okay, which is now in Pakistan and northern Western India. Okay, it covered parts of Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and some parts of Western UP also. It extended from Manda in Jammu in the north to Daimabad in this Daimabad to south. Okay, means in the south there up till Daimabad, in the north up till Manda, and from Alamgirpur in the western part of UP it is up till there, and Chukindarkor in Balochistan in the western side. Okay, up till now nearly 1500 sites are known so far. Okay, most of them are of the late or post urban sites. Now, as Pakistan is having 475, and in India we are having 925, and some sites are in Afghanistan also. Okay, now see, if we talk about the two important Harappan sites, then those are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Okay, now we'll deal with substances strategies. What are they? Now, in substances strategies, all the things which are like food, their crops, the animals, because animals also they were meat eaters. They used to eat animals also. Or which type of animals we found over there, what they do for their amusement, then dresses, everything comes under substances strategies only. But here we have to study about the food, like which types of crops were there. Okay, so we found barley, wheat, lentil, chickpea, and sesame. Millets. Okay, fine. Like this, I'll do. That would be more better to you all. Okay, now see, millets are also found in some parts, in some sites of Gujarat. Kinds of rice are relatively rarer. Okay, animals bones also we have found. Okay, in that animals like cattle, like those sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, all these were found. In fact, horses were also found, because one of the burial we found that one horse was also buried. Okay, and now they were hunting, that we do not know, because they were eating meat. So might be they be hunting also, or they might be purchasing meat from the other communities also. Okay, bone of fish and fowl were also found. So they were eating fish also. Now, what about the agriculture technologies? We have found the plow, but exactly the plow of the terracotta models we have found, not exactly which plow we have found. So by that we can assume that the plow was used, but that of iron or wood, that we do not know, because really plow has not been excavated up till now. Now see, terracotta models of plow have been found in the sites of Cholistan and Banavali. They have an evidence, archaeologists, they have an evidence of plowed field at Kalibangan. So all these prove that they were, for agriculture, they were using plow. Now they were actually, the field had two sets of furrows at right angle to each other, suggesting that the different crops were grown together. Means like now they were at that time they were um, doing agriculture, and the two crops were sown together. Now, now see, Harappan sites are located in the semi-arid region, okay, where irrigation was probably required for agriculture. At that time, it was no doubt a semi-arid region, but due to the river, okay, the vegetation was in a plenty, you can say in a prosperous way, agriculture was flourished at that time. But if we see now, if we see currently, those areas are deserted areas. Okay. Now, traces of canals have been found at the Harappan site of Shotagai in Afghanistan, but not in Punjab or Sindh. Okay, canals traces we have found. Now we have found the reservoirs in Dholavira. Okay, so these all the other techniques by which they used to do the agriculture. Okay. Now then, Mohenjo-daro or planned urban center, like the town, about the town planning, the it was divided, the town planning, it was divided into lower town and the citadel, upper town, you can say. Now in upper town, it is small and it is residing at the western side, and the lower town residing at the eastern side, and it is big. In citadel, people are actually, you can just correlate it with the government officials, where the elite groups or the high officials, they would be staying over there. And two important things of the citadel that we found over there: great bath, then we found over there granary or warehouse, you can say. Okay, it has been said that in granary the grains have been thrashed over there. Now in lower town, people, common people are residing. Common people does not mean that the labor class people are residing. Common people means that all the type of people, like merchants, craft persons, they all are residing in the lower town. Okay. Okay, then laying out drains. What does it signify? That at that time their drainage system was very good. Okay, yes, their drainage system was very good. The roads and the streets were laid out along with the absolute grid pattern was there. It is very important, student, grid pattern, because as it is a keyword. Okay, interestingly, at right angles, it seems that the street with drains were laid out first and then house were built. Earlier, when the planning was done, when the first year's drains were laid out, then the other structures were made. If domestic water, wastewater had to flow into the street drains, every house need to have at least one wall along a street. Means every house was connected to the drain. A drain towards the street, and that those drain, main those drains were flooded towards the main drainage system. Okay, now see, what about the citadel? They have written, while most Harappan settlements have a small high western part, okay, and a larger lower section, there are variations. As we have said, I have said that the citadel, it is smaller, but at the western side and the lower town, it is higher, larger in dimension, and the eastern sides, and they are fortified also. Okay, but it is not important, it is not necessary that each and every cities would be having the same structure. Okay, like some sites of Dholavira and Lothal, the entire settlement was fortified. Somewhere you'll not find the fortification. Okay, and the sections within the town were also separated by walls. Okay, the citadel in Lothal was not walled off, but was built at a height. In citadel in Lothal, it is not walled off. No, it is not surrounded by walls. Now, okay. Now about domestic architecture, as we are talking about domestic architecture means about the lower town. Then they have, the houses which they make. Firstly, they are of square shape. Okay. Then first story, one or two stories are there. For their privacy, what they do, there are no windows at the ground floor, and this, the main gate was actually made at the corner, so that inside view cannot be taken by the other people going through that street, moving through that street. Okay. Now every house is its own bathroom paved with the bricks, with drains connected through the wall to the street drains. Now some houses have remains of staircases also. Obviously, if they have second story, they would be having staircase to reach the second floor. Okay, many houses they were having wells also. In wells also there is a difference is that some houses were having, rich people, they might be having wells at their house itself, but in the case of the labor class people, there might be one well and one common well, and they have to take the water from that only. Now in Mohenjo-daro we found 700 wells. Now see, this is the room structure. Okay, see the gate, it is at the corner, and from that you cannot see the whole house. See, at ground floor there are no windows. Okay, now about citadel. It is on the citadel that we find evidence of structure that were probably used for a specific public purpose. Means citadel is used for the public purpose. One I told you was a warehouse or the granary in which the grains were thrashed and which the grains were stored also. And besides that, the labor, some rooms like for labor was built. Okay, now the great bath was there. It is a rectangular tank, and it is said it is for ritual purpose. Okay, it has been assumed. Okay, it is just like you can resemble it like a swimming pool. Right now, right nowadays, there were rooms also around on the three sides in which was a large well. Water from the tank flowed into a huge drain. Okay, with eight bathrooms, four on each side of the corridor, with the drains of each bathroom connected to the drain that ran along the corridor. The uniqueness of the structure as well as the context in which it was found was citadel with several distinctive buildings has led scholars to suggest that it is meant for the kind of ritual bath. Okay, so it is suggested that it might be for the ritual practices. Okay, now tracking for the social differences. Now at Harappan civilization, how would you differentiate between the economical status of the people? Okay, so by the burials and other by the what type of artifacts they were using at that time. So in burials, some people they used to bury the body in the pit directly. Some people they used to make the pit in a proper way, means that the walls of the pit were vaulted. Okay, some people they used to besides the body, they used to keep certain things like jewelries, or instruments, or the pottery, whatever they wish. Okay, see, at the burials in Harappa side, the dead were generally laid in pits. Sometimes there was a difference in the way of burial pit was made. In some instances, the hollowed out places were lined with bricks. As I have told you, some graves contain pottery and ornaments, perhaps indicating a belief that these could be used of both men and women. In fact, the excavation at the cemetery in Harappa in mid 1980s, an ornament consisting of three shells, a jasper, okay, it is a precious stone, beads, hundred of micro beads was found near the skull of a male. Okay, over there, a copper mirror has also been found. Basically, copper mirror was buried. See, the picture is over here. Copper mirror is buried with the females. Okay, now looking for the luxuries. If we talk about the luxuries, now another strategy is social differences to study the artifacts which archaeologists broadly classify as utilitarian and luxuries. Utilitarians are the things which they used to use daily. Okay, and they are not so expensive like pottery, needles, flesh rubbers. Okay, they are not so expensive. So if the person is using these things, they can be classified that they are not so rich. Okay, and if the person is using some rare materials, like fans at that time was the rare materials, or he's having gold and all, so which was rare actually, which was expensive, so it will come under the luxuries. Okay. Thus, little pots of fans, a material made of ground sand or silica mixed with color and gum and then fired, were probably considered precious because they were difficult to make. As the materials which are very difficult to make, which are exported from somewhere else, okay, they will come. It will come under luxuries. Now also people they used to, get things from outside the country. Okay, so what is that? It is not the basic needs. So we will put them into the luxury column. Okay, situations become more complicated when we find what seem to be articles of daily. Like they use such as spindle whorls made up of rare materials fans, but then one complicated situation come when archaeologists they found spindle whorls. Spindle whorls are actually used by the common people, and it is not so expensive. Okay, but the complication is that that material it was made of was expensive. So how it could be, if we are considering fans as an expensive element, then how can spindle rolls be made up of fans? Okay, if we study distribution of such artifacts, we find that rare objects made valuable materials are generally concentrated in large settlements. It is but obvious if the it is just like you have to imagine everything in prevailing condition, in the condition which we are. Suppose if we are rich, if someone is rich, he will reside in the metro cities. He will try to reside in the metro cities. He'll have some expensive items from foreign. Okay, wear expensive clothes, wear expensive jewelries. Like that only, the people who have expensive, who are pursuing these luxuries, will stay at the important cities only. Where urbanization was at the zenith. So if they are staying at the urbanized cities, then what will happen? The materials will be, archaeologists they would be finding the materials over there only, due to which the luxury items are found in the larger settlements like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Okay, for example, miniature pots of fans, perhaps used for perfume bottles, are found mostly in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. These two are the very important cities. Okay, there are none from small settlements like Kalibangan. Gold too was rare and at present probably precious. All the gold jewelries found on Harappan sites were recovered from the hoards. All the jewelries, the Harappan sites, they were recovered from the hoards. Hoards you can just correlate it with the jewelry box. Women used to save their jewelries in the jewelry box. Okay, okay, we'll do today up till here only. Now, students, if I don't think so, you should have any problem, but I have given a worksheet with this. So please try to do that and read each and every line of NCRT. Do not skip any line because each and every line is very important, students. Okay, so today we have what we have studied. We have studied about the Harappan civilization, phases of Harappan civilization. Then we studied about the substance and strategies, then agriculture technologies. Then we studied about the town planning. Okay, and what? Then we studied about the how at that time economical status was differentiated. How can we differentiate basically? Okay, students, thank you and have a nice day.